Good morning, and welcome. Please take your seats. Wow, what an exciting moment. My name is Tim Fulton, and it is truly a pleasure to welcome each of you to the first annual Small Business Matters Conference. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I believe one of the largest gatherings of small business owners in the metropolitan area for the year of 2013. How many of you, show of hands, how many of you were at the first Woodstock? Just show of hands. First Woodstock. Less than half, okay? The first Super Bowl, show of hands, 1966, the first, just a couple of you. How about the first Vistage meeting? Bud Carter, where are you? You were at the very first Vistage meeting in Atlanta. You're at the very first Small Business Conference, the first annual Small Business Conference, and I can't imagine that we're going to be compared with Woodstock or the first Super Bowl or even the first Vistage meeting, but I do feel that at some point you'll remember this day, you'll remember this moment that you were at the first Small Business Matters Conference, and I'm very proud to be here, and I'm very pleased that you're here with us. Seth Godin is one of my favorite marketing gurus, and he says that each of us are leaders of a tribe. In fact, he wrote a book that was titled Tribes. We're all leaders of a tribe. So I feel like I'm a leader of tribe, and my tribe is here. Whether you're a Vistage member. How many Vistage members do we have? Just show a hand. How many Vistage members? Good. Growth Smart, Fast Track graduates. Show of hands. Good. Some of you got two hands because you're Vistage members, Growth Smart. So you all are part of my tribe, and what Seth Godin says is my responsibility in that regard, our responsibility as members of a tribe is threefold. He says, three questions. He says, who are you upsetting? My guess that as a result of you being here, we're probably upsetting somebody. I hope as a result of today, we're going to be upsetting your competitors from what you learn and take away from today. So he says, number one, he says, as a tribe, who are you upsetting? He says, number two, who are you connecting? Well, part of our purpose here is to connect the members of this tribe. And then third, he says, who are you leading? And I really feel humble that I'm a leader of this tribe on this day. So why are we here today? Well, I believe very strongly about three things. Number one, I feel like you've got maybe the toughest job in the world as the owner, the operator, or the key executive in a small business. I'm not sure there's a tougher job out there. And so one of the reasons I believe that this event is important is I want to try to make your job easier. Not easy, but easier by giving you tools and best practices and learnings that will hopefully make your job a little bit easier. Second, I truly believe that to be effective as the owner of a small business or the operator of a small business, it's a collaborative effect. To be successful, you've got to have help from others. And so that's why I wanted to be able to bring you here and connect you with other business owners and trusted advisors and key executives so that you can connect and be able to collaborate with your peers. And the third reason why I felt like this was an important event is I truly believe that small business matters. And I don't have to list all the statistics about employment and jobs, but you all know that small business is really important in this country. And I certainly believe in small business. My entire life has been about small business as a small business owner, an operator, a counselor, a coach to small business owners. I truly believe small business matters. And so I look at today as a celebration of small business. I'd like to just talk briefly about our agenda. Everyone's got a program. I think one of the things that I said when we started planning this event back in January is I said, having attended a lot of conferences like this, some good, some less than good, I said, I want this to be different. I want this to be different than they have attended, been a part of before. And so part of what we're doing is we're stealing a little bit from the TED conferences that I'm a big fan of. And so we've got a dozen speakers today. Each of the speakers will be presenting for 15 minutes. They'll be presenting on one of three stages. The speakers will be coming at you 1, 2, 3, and then we'll take a quick break. And at that break, you're then at your tables going to have a table discussion. You're going to talk about what you hear from the different speakers. Each table, there's a table host. Table host, let's raise our hands so everyone knows who the table host is. They're there to, one, make sure that you're having a great time, and then secondly, they're going to be facilitating the group discussion at your table. So 3 speakers, group discussion. We'll take a break halfway through the morning. We'll come back. 3 more speakers, table discussion. We'll take a break for lunch. We're going to take a short hike across the facility for lunch. We'll come back at 1 o'clock. We'll bring up our next 3 speakers, discussion break, and then we'll finish off with our final group of speakers. That should lead us up to about 4 o'clock today. Let me tell you something about our presenters. None of them are being paid. None of them are being compensated for being here, and yet a number of them are nationally recognized speakers. They're the kind of people you'd see in a room like this with 1,000 people here at some conference or some industry trade show. And they have all volunteered to be here today. Now, some of them are nationally recognized speakers. Some of them are like you and I. They're business owners who have a story to tell or a message that they want to share with us about small business. So ahead of time, I really want to thank our speakers for being here. Most of them are here and are at the different tables. All right, so the speakers, the presentations, again, we're taking a break in the morning, a break this afternoon, and a lunch break. So you've got our agenda. You've got a little bit of bio on the speakers. You'll get to know more about the speakers as they come up. A little bit of housekeeping. Again, a break this morning, break at lunch, break this afternoon. If you've got to get up at any point, certainly feel free to do that. I do ask one thing. I know each of you brought your cell phone with you, right? I'd ask you, number one, to mute your cell phones. Now, I had this crazy thought. Where's Cindy Miller? Is she in the room here somewhere? I had this crazy thought when we were planning this. I said, what if we confiscated the cell phones on the way in? Because if those of you who know me, I'm both a technophobic and I'm not crazy about the use of the cell phones. She said, Tim, you can't do that. You can't possibly confiscate cell phones. I said, okay, you're right. But at the very least, we can try to limit the use of cell phones during the course of the day, because I really want you to get away from work. I want you to get away from the calls and the crises that are taking place at your business and truly enjoy the day. So I just encourage you as much as possible to disregard your cell phone, your smartphone. I also want to recognize our sponsors. Do we have the slide with the sponsors? Is that possible? The sponsors are recognized on the bottom of the first page, and I'll list them off. Atlantic Classic Cars. Who do we have from Atlantic Classic Cars? Just show your hand. Thank you very much. Georgia Commerce Bank. Do we have a representative here? Thank you very much. GV Financial. Where's David? Yep, thank you. Com360. Bennett Thrasher, we've got a number of folks from Bennett Thrasher here. Seaforth Shaw Attorneys, we've got a couple people, raise your hands. Trillium Financial, where's Mike? All by himself. Good, thank you very much. The Small Business Development Center, we've got a number of people here from the SBDCs. And of course, Vistage, we've got a number of, how many Vistage chairs, Vistage people we've got here? Good, thank you very much. Thank you, let's give a hand to our sponsors. Thank you very much. Okay. Are you ready? Come on, are you ready? Yeah.